scoop a little bit like this. Scoop it. You scoop. If you do use the knife, you're only scooping below the eye. You're not taking any of the eyelid off, bottom eyelid out. See, this area here is still going to be up. Oops, I may have cut off a little more than I wanted right there, but now we're going to take a V-tool. This is what I like to do, is take a V-tool. And we want to take and cut just above the eye like this. Let me do it once, I suppose. Nice and smooth. And again, you're going to leave the closest to the eye, the wood that's closest to the eye is going to be up while you're digging. It would probably be, well, this is a large V tool, so probably about, like, depending on the size of the V tool, that's the problem, is to use the, was it the end as a guide. Okay, is good so far. Take the knife again. Now what we're going to do is we're going to carve this little. We're going to take the knife and we're going to keep coming down. See, I'm not carving. I'm just showing you. Now I carve down like that, and we're going to take just a piece out of there like that. Let me show you again over here. I'm just going to come along and continue the cut and just take another little chip out like that. Now I can work on, do I want the eye to be a little bigger? This one here is a little narrow, but you know, I can probably leave it and for now and work on it later. Because I got these little things I got to peck at. And there's basically the eye right there. Now I would like to wait until after I get the eye in to reform the forehead to make sure that we got enough wood there to put in our eyebrow in. So let me work that up a little. Again, the eyebrow, the bone of the skull is high here. And so I want to shape that a little bit. And then I want to shape this area here a little bit. This goes down a little bit. Okay, let's get the profile. See, you got this part here is up, where the forehead goes down into the skull. Now this is also the time to fiddle with it. If you don't want him to have the mean look, it is kind of difficult at this point to get out that, well, it's not that hard, just a little bit here. So if you want to unmean him or unangry him, is to create more of the line of the brow going this way, up. So let me shape this here, form this here a little bit. Now, it's a little better. Now here's the problem there. You look straight on, okay, he doesn't look so bad. He doesn't look mad. But, you know, of course, as you're going to put this on the shelf, and unless it's at eye level, here's the other way you can test it, is if you go put it at an angle like this, and then if he still looks mean, then just keep working with it. Unless you want him to be mad, you know, like the Mad Wizard or something. Okay, eyebrow. Now there's many ways to do the eyebrow. You can just like pencil one in and shape it. I just like to take the V tool. This tool is kind of dull a little bit here. And just go away from the center. Like that. And if you say, well, gee whiz, I think that's too much eyebrow, well, then you can kind of trim it off a little more here. If you wish, at this time, you can also take your V tool and just kind of come across the forehead. I mean, if this is like a more elderly gentleman, you know, you might want to put a mark across there. Generally, I like to leave it as is. Let me see. I left it on this guy here. Most of the time, I like to leave it out. But if you want to put an old man look or some crinkly face look. All right. This would also be a good time, now that the eyes are in, is to form the cheek a little bit. Get my finger out of the way. So you want to come down straight and then come around the cheek. And then I want to come at about a 30-degree angle back. And hope that chip pops out of there. Nothing's more frustrating than trying to create a chip and it doesn't pop out. The problem is that you create a chip, you cut, and it doesn't come out, and you cut again, and it doesn't come out again, and you keep cutting, and it just turns into a lot of little furry pieces in there. The trick is, or the best thing that I can do, is you just need to practice to know where the tip of that knife is, as if you're looking at a block that is transparent and you can see it. So you're just imagining it. Now, this kind of adds a little extra shadow. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. That adds a little extra value to it. I don't know if that's the best way to put it. You can go a little deeper. I didn't go as deep as I wanted to. I'm just going to leave it at this side here. I want to shape the nose just a little bit. One of the things for sure that we want to do on the nose, being the elderly gentleman, this is even if you're carving women's faces, is you want to carve around the nose deep. Of course, the women's face is not so deep. And we're going to create another chip so we can see the shadow of the nose. Nose around the cheek. See that shadow there. Same on the other side. Again, remember I'm right-handed. If you're right-handed, be conscious that you're not carving in this way, that you're carving away from the nose. Now you can carve in this way around the cheek. I already got it all smoothed out, I guess. Now, because the size of this particular character is small, I don't like to spend too much time on the nose. Is just to put in an angle like this, just enough to show that it's a decent nose. So you carve about, again, a 30-degree angle this way and then this way. Now you could come around and let's see that nostril as you carve into and pull out like that. Let's do that again. See, we're creating that nostril. So you carve in and then pull out like a scoop. The scoop. Come down on the nose a little bit. And then you want to round this just a little bit. You can use chisels if you like. If it is easier for you to use chisels, if you got a nice sharp knife, I'd like to. Sometimes I get too lazy and putting one tool down, and I keep using that tool for a while. And clean out the pencil mark there. And one more thing I want to do is just this little carve around this way, finish that round. You can keep the nose as a hook, sharp hook, like that. I mean, that's not too bad for an old guy, but maybe just take a little bit off too. That's still good too. Now, if you want to put the hole in, I can see this is kind of off kilter a little bit here. Let me play with it. If you want to put the hole of the nostril on, it's very simple. It's just a little. I just put in a little chip. You can take a little chisel. And I like to start on the far end or the outside first. You're creating a chip. And pop that out of there. That's kind of about as much as I want in the nose. Just very quickly, we'll do a quick mouth here. This particular character, I think we need to bring this up. The mouth is very quick and simple. I mean, it's very easy to do. Let me get my bigger knife. I got a bigger piece of chunk there. Or you can leave it the way it was, and then you could like dig underneath, have no mouth, and it gives the impression that the mouth is there. So it's just one less thing you need need to carve. Now you can use I'm going to pencil this now. I get to a point where I just grab my tools and whack away, but I'll pencil in this. It's not penciling in as I want it to. Because I've been out of practice penciling in the mouth. That's not something you want to hear. You can either take a V-tool or you can start with a knife and you're going to carve away from the nose again. And again, a lot of times I like to use a knife over a V-tool because it's more natural. The cut looks natural, and therefore the face looks more natural than it being mechanical. But some people like to start with the V-tool, to get it started, and then maybe you can just trim it up later. Okay, now here's the important part. This is the thing that I've neglected in my earlier days, is I've been kind of almost leaving it like that, but it kind of looks like, a dog sticking its tongue out, and that is a problem. And so you want to dig deep, dig deep. Another chip. Get that out of there. Now you got the hole there. You can make them smile, you can make them do whatever you want there. The rest is just simply rounding off. You probably want to round the cheeks off a little more, shape the cheeks off. The mustache, you might want the mustache to go in towards the nose more, rounding off, so on and so forth. I mean, the rest is more like shaping, but there you have the face with the eyes, the mouth. And like I said, you could just start doing all kinds of shaping and forming, and I just started to do this somewhat recently, add a little more detail to it. But there you have it. The face and the eye. Again, my name is Russell Scott. You can see my carvings at scottcarvings.com. I also have a connection to my blog site, which has the more recent carvings. But hope to see you out there in the carving world. Bye.